Sick is a new slasher movie on Peacock, and I'm surprised. I really enjoyed this movie, and what I mean by that is just I've watched a movie on Peacock called They Them, and it was another slasher movie, and it was really bad. I think there was another horror movie I watched on Peacock that was really bad. I don't watch a lot of good content on Peacock. In fact, I haven't used Peacock since I think September. It's it's just that bad of a service sometimes when it comes to the amount of content that they put out and just what they actually have. This month seems like a good month for Peacock. We have that show Poker Face, which I think looks really good, and this movie looks really good. So that's why I checked it out. Also, I think it's either written or directed by Kevin Williamson. I forget which one he did here. He might have done both. Anyways, if you don't know Kevin Williamson, he did like Scream and I Know What You Did Last Summer, and these are kind of like more meta takes on horror franchises, or not horror franchises, but just horror slasher movies in general. And that's what he did here. He set this movie during the 2020 COVID pandemic and made it just a slasher movie. And the nice thing about that is a lot of the movies that have done this use the COVID like as the basis to market the movie. They're like, oh my gosh, COVID, and they use that like your fear of COVID to do nothing, and so therefore it just makes like it just they're not very good movies. What I'm trying to say, they're not very effective at creating a horror atmosphere because they're just trying to use COVID as that instead of like this movie where you have characters dealing and grappling with going to the grocery store, dealing with things we did in 2020, but it's mostly just a slasher movie while these people are in quarantine, some dude's stalking them, and it's a chase movie. And that's what makes this movie really, really good. It's wonderfully directed. Like the actual kill scenes are actually really good and great kills and a lot of fun. Um, they're just awesome to see. Lots of cool kills, lots of certain characters running around doing things, you know. So I don't know. I like that aspect of that. It was a very all the chase scenes were really well shot and put together, and yeah, and it just made for a really effective, fun slasher movie that's unique and well put together, and has things to say about the genre and stuff. And I think that's really neat to finally have something like this. You know, a lot of people last year were like X is one of the best slashers and stuff, but like X to me didn't have a lot to say about the genre. I didn't really care for X, but this movie I think has more to say about the genre. Is a little bit more unique than that movie. Even though I'm saying I think this movie's not as good as that movie. Actually, I think X is probably a better movie, even though I'm not the greatest fan of it. But yeah, I really enjoyed this movie, and I cannot wait to check out more of Kevin Williamson stuff because I've seen all the Scream movies and I Know What You Did Last Summer. But I want to see what else this guy is cooking up in the future because he hasn't done anything in a while. And this is a really solid movie, so I'd be open to seeing him make another movie soon.